This video is for the lesson 1.17 notes or finding equations from 2 points. So you've got all these graphs, and so the first thing you need to do is to find two nice, pretty ordered pairs. So on this graph, we've got -1, 1, and that's this point here, and then 1, 0, which is this point here. And so in our calculators, remember we go to Stat and enter our x's and our y's. So in the first list, you're going to enter your x's, so -1 and 1. And then in your second list, you're going to enter your y's, so 1 and 0. So again, just a reminder, the first digit in an ordered pair is always your x. The second digit is always your y. So once you get your numbers put in, you go to Stat, over to Calc, and then down to linear regression, so 4, and then down to Calculate. And it'll give you your slope as -a. So the slope here is -0.5, and your b is your y-intercept, and it is 0.5. So we need to find the equation that matches this. So the slope is the one that's attached to the x. So here's -0.5, and then 0.5 is our y-intercept. That's the thing being added or subtracted. So that one would go there. All right, our next line, our ordered pairs, are -2, 3, and that is close to this one here, and then 2, 3, so 2, 3 is up in here. They're all going to have a y value of 3 because this is a nice straight horizontal line. So in your calculator, you go to Stat and edit your list, and remember that you need to clear your list before you do anything else in them. All right, so our x's are -2 and 2, and our y's are 3 and 3. So Stat, over to Calc, 4 for linear regression, and then down to Calculate, and I've got a slope of 0 and a y-intercept of 3. So remember, when they are horizontal lines, they are y equal. So we need this one right here that says y equals 3. All right, our next ordered pair from this graph is 3, 3 and 3, -2. So this is a horizontal line. All of our x's are going to be 3. So in your calculator, going to enter new list. So again, make sure that you're clearing your list, or second plus 712 will clear these for you. So our x's here are both 3, and our y's are 3 and -2. So Stat, over to Calc, 4 for linear regression, and then down to Calculate. And I've got an error. So when you get this error, you're going to get this for vertical lines. And so remember, vertical lines always start with x, and then whatever the x value is. So the x value here is 3. Oops, sorry guys. And so that one would go right there. All right, our next ordered pair is 0, -3. So clear out that. So again, if you want to clear really quick, second plus 712 clears your calculator real quick for you. All right, so now on our list, we've got x's of 0 and 2. And then we've got y's of -3 and -2. So in your calculator, and this time I get a slope of 0.5, so a half. Then my y-intercept here, this b is -3. So I need a slope of 1/2. This is the only one that has a positive 1/2. And then my y-intercept is +3. All right, down here at the bottom, I've got points at -2, 1, -1, and that's that point here. And then at 2, -3, and that's this point down here. So back into stat, do your list. X is in the first one, so -2 and 2. And then -1 and -3. And again, your calculator will find slope and y-intercept for you. So this time I've got a slope of a -0.5, so that's a -1/2, and then my y-intercept here is a -2. So here's -1/2 as my slope, and then -2 as my y-intercept. All right. This one I've got a point at -4, 3, that's this point here, and then at 0, 0, right at the origin. So stat, go into your list. So my x's here are -4 and 0, and my y's are 3 and 0. So stat, over to calc, 4 for linear regression, and then down to calculate. So now I've got slope of -0.75 and a y-intercept of 0. So if there is no y-intercept, you're just going to have y equals -0.75, and this is -3/4. So again, you need to sometimes change these into a fraction, and your calculator will do that for you with the alpha y4 function. So there you can see the -3/4. And again, the slope or the y-intercept was 0. So we don't have to put +0 or -0. All right. Now I've got 0, -2 and 3, 2. So we're going to go into our list again. And our x's are 0 and 3. And then our y's are -2 and 2. So -2, and then back to stat. And so the more you practice it, the easier it'll become. So this time I've got 1.33 and a -2 as my y-intercept. So this is the only card that's got a -2, and 4/3 is the same as 1.3 repeating. And so that's my equation there. And then finally, my last one, we want to check it, just make sure that it's the right equation that we need. So again, make sure you're either clearing your calculator or you're clearing the list individually. Don't leave data in there for a new problem. So my x's here are -4 and 0. And then my y's are -2 and 1. And then finally, we can do linear regression on it. And I get a slope of 0.75 and a y-intercept of 1. So 3/4 is the same as 0.75. So that is the equation that matches there. So that is it for this set of notes.